Hello friends, today I'm going to share about the practice of equanimity. When we talk about the practice of equanimity, it means that we have to meditate and cultivate the equal states of minds towards all sentient beings. So in order to do that meditations, we have to meditate and think about our feelings. So when we monitor our feeling, then we can see that our feeling is not equal. We have deep attachment towards our own friends and families, and we have distance feelings towards our enemy, and we have no feeling towards strangers. So our feelings are not equal. We have discrimination there. We are doing a discriminations. So that sense of discriminations arises based on the self-centered attitude. And when we talk about the self-centered attitude, that means that we are doing a selfish. We are talking about the I and me. So when we talk about the I and me, the I and me is a goddamn individual single persons. When we talk about the others, other means infinite number of human beings, infinite number of sentient beings. So in order to achieve the happiness for infinite number of sentient beings, it is worthwhile to sacrifice one's own happiness. It is worthwhile oneself to suffer in order to achieve the happiness for the infinite number of sentient beings. This is a one step that you have to meditate. The next step of meditation, that you have to think that all the sentient beings are same as you and me. Just as I want happiness, they too want happiness. Just as I do not want happiness, they also do not want just as I do not want suffering, they also do not want sufferings. Okay, so we are all same and equal. With that respect, one could say that there is a relation between me and others. So our entire happiness depends upon them. Without the other sentient beings, there is no way we can gain happiness in our life. We are giving importance to our family and friends. At the same time, we have to give importance to the strangers. Today we are using the cell phones. Today we are enjoying the televisions, and we are riding a nice car. We are living in a luxury buildings. So these are the products made by the infinite number of other sentient beings. They are so important to us. And so called an enemy, enemy is also important to us. Enemy is a person who gives us a great opportunity to do the practice of patience. If we look at the 7 billion human beings, out of the 7 billion human beings, enemy is the only person who gives us the pure opportunity to do the practice of patience. So according to the Buddhist perspective, one of the great Indian Nalanda masters, and he used to say that your enemy is the best teacher to do the practice of patience. And we are protecting ourselves, we are protecting ourselves from suffering, and it is right to do that. At the same time, we have to protect other sentient beings from their sufferings, because suffering is something that we do not want, and we are achieving happiness for ourselves. At the same time, we need to achieve happiness for other sentient beings, because happiness is something that we all desire, we all acquire, like that. So if you do that kind of meditations, it really helps you to undermine your like a deep attachment towards your friends and families, and your hatred towards your enemies. So it will definitely reduce your sense of extreme discriminations in your life. Then it will help you to develop the sense of respect towards all sentient being. Even even a tiny insect's life, you will cultivate the sense of respect towards the tiny small insects. So there is another way to do the practice of equanimity. So that meditation is based on the acceptance of the concept of past life and future lives. So in order to do that meditations, first you have to visualize the three persons. First is your friends or family, okay, one person. Then second is your enemy, and third is one strangers. So you have to visualize the three persons, and you have to monitor your feelings. What are the reaction of your feelings when you look at your friends, and what are the reaction of your feelings when you look at your enemies, and what are the reactions of your feelings when you look at the strangers. Then you would able to see that you have a deep attachment towards your friends, and you have distant feelings towards your enemy, and you have no feeling towards the strangers. So at this point, you have to utilize the analytical meditation. You have to question yourself. So why I have a sense of discrimination like that? Why I have a different feelings towards different human beings? Then you have to question yourself that there is a guarantee that the enemy, he or she is going, he or she has been your enemy forever. So if we look at the present lifetime, in this very lifetime, sometimes our enemy becomes our best friends, and our best friend becomes a worst enemy in our life. So there is no certain there. So when we look at the enemies, there is no guarantee that he or she could be your enemy forever. If we look back at the past life, past life is innumerable lives, and we have taken innumerable past lives, and your enemy could be your enemy could be your friends in your past life. when he or she was your friend, at that time he or she had been done good to you, whatever your friends are doing in this present life. And if you look at your friends, there is no guarantee that he or she could be friends forever. If we look back at the innumerable life, and he or she could be your enemy. At that time, he or she had been done bad thing to you, whatever your enemy is doing in this present lifetime. And if we look at the strangers, they are nothing to do with they are nothing to do in this life. But if we look back the innumerable lives that we have taken, then he or she could be your enemy in your life and your past life, and he or she could be your friends in your past life. When they were your friend, they had been done good to you. When they were your enemy, they had been bad to you. So in terms of like a helpful and harmful, in terms of good and bad, they are all equal. They have been bad to us and they have been good to us. So there is no differences. Then why we are making a discrimination between them? Why we are making a distinction between them? So this kind of meditation is very helpful to develop a sense of respect towards all the sentient beings. Even you see a tiny, like a little insects, you will definitely respect that tiny insect's life. So that is the reason we have to do the practice of equanimities. That's all I want to say. Thank you.